Welcome to Gunners Are Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
I tell you what, Scott.
Ah.
I went to bed last night with that warm, fuzzy feeling.
Your tum-tum, as Simon was saying.
I slept so well. It was like a warm cup of milk. Basically, so if you didn't see it, future Arsenal legend Kylian Mbappe scores.
Oh, yeah.
VAR works perfectly.
Yeah, it was a good decision, wasn't
as it does. And Simon Marciniak, who I think might be the best referee on the planet right now.
I think you said Simon Miller wrong, but that's right.
He refereed the World Cup final, really good. Refereed that game, really good.
I'm certainly going to clip this for TikTok. So hi TikTok, make sure you follow by TBA on TikTok. Yeah, it was a great decision. I think everything Newcastle have said about not complaining about the referees in the last few weeks, I agree.
It couldn't happen to a nicer team.
So thank you, Newcastle. And I did, yeah. I kind of, I don't know. It made me very happy. I watched it on my phone with no sound, and
the commentators were very on Newcastle's side. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, they will be because they're the plucky underdog, the richest team in the world, plucky underdogs that could, which makes no sense. But hey, they're just a horrid team, and it could have happened to a nicer team.
But all shade aside, terrible decision.
Awful, awful decision.
That was a really bad decision.
Yeah, that wasn't good at all.
I'm really surprised that referee gave it though, because
I've seen. So obviously, this show comes out on a Wednesday, which is today.
Yeah.
And tonight is Arsenal's game, and the second. There's a Tuesday fixtures and there's Wednesday fixtures for Champions League. The people that were on VAR last night have been removed from their game tonight.
Not surprised.
So,
I'm surprised though that Marciniak gave that.
He went and looked at it for a second.
Considering how good he actually is, and I'm not just saying that. That's nothing to do with the decision. He is a very good referee. Like how he refereed that game was how you're supposed to referee a game. The speed at which they banged out the VAR calls. He booked any player that had dissent. It was perfect.
Yeah, it's just well ran.
It's how a referee should run a game.
Yeah, well, like those Newcastle fans are saying, they have to protect PSG at all costs in the Champions League because of obviously where their mony comes from. Yeah. And I was like, do they not realize where their money comes from?
I don't think anyone realizes yet. It's the most. They're quietly the richest club in the world at this point.
Honestly, the richest plucky underdogs you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
that's what I'll say. But I thought they played well, Newcastle, in spurts. I think Anthony Gordon's really becoming a player.
But he had to defend for most of that game.
But I think they faced something like 37 shots on goal.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at the field tilt and XG, I think PSG should have won. I think it was like 5-1 or something, or 5-0.
That young kid, Barcola, like he could have scored 4 or 5.
Yeah, they missed a lot of tries. There was a bit where Mbappe had like a Garnacho style overhead.
Yeah.
But not as hard as Garnacho anyway, and he fluffed it. So
yeah. And we're going to talk about that Garnacho.
So Garnacho is better than Mbappe, I assume. Is that football man? Yeah, they had a million chances. The field tilt was crazy. The XG was crazy. The possession was crazy. I think they had something, like an average, a really good team will have like 800 passes in a game. If you're really, really good and you have the ball a lot. I think PSG hit something like 80, or it might have been over 100 passes in the opposition's box.
Oh my goodness.
Or touches inside the other opposition's box.
If that was an Arsenal game and we were watching that,
I'd have palpitation.
And we went 1-0 up that quick. And then sat behind the ball that long,
right?
I'd be stressed.
Yeah, well, it felt like I wouldn't even say it feels like one of Arsenal's old. When we'd lose to Bayern or Barca or anything. I don't think we ever played like that.
No,
like we were always in the game. We just got battered.
Yeah,
but maybe that's why Newcastle aren't getting battered because they're defending properly. Because I think that is a lost art in football is defending.
Yeah.
And I think that is also why the critique for Arsenal now is coming under fire.
Yeah.
Because we're not playing free-flowing football that scores 6-7 goals a game.
No.
Which you can't do without conceding. I think we've taken the approach that, attacks win matches, defenses win championships, which is, a saying in all sports, basically. And I think we've taken that on board. And because of that, people are going, oh, it's not very good. It's like, or are they just defending correctly? And when you defend correctly, you can't attack as optimal as you could if you were just free flowing.
Well, Gary Neville's post pointed out exactly where we're at this season on X this week. I don't know if anyone saw it, but he basically said the way we're playing this season, we're more likely to win the league now with this. Because this is what City did last season. Yeah. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, it's defensive. So and it was clunky until the end of the season.
So it's nice to hear something positive from Gary Neville about Arsenal.
The only thing I'd say is they had Haaland.
Yeah.
So eventually it came good. Well,
Big Kylian's coming soon, so we're golden.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, yeah, and we've been linked with the likes of Oisman, who we're going to see tonight, I believe, in Champions League.
That would be good.
But Tony looks like it's not happening till the summer, but it doesn't look like it's necessarily Arsenal because Arteta's prioritized Oisman over.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I honestly don't know what they're going to do. I genuinely believe, and it sounds weird, I think we're going to buy defensive-based players in January.
Yeah.
To fill up the void. Because last year, we've only scored 2 less goals than we had last year. So people saying that we're not as good going forward, but we've conceded like 6 less. I think we're trending in the right direction. And the only thing that cost us last year, if you actually look at it, one, if we'd just beaten City at the Emirates, we would have won the league.
Yeah.
That was the difference in the end.
And also losing Saliba.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, was the backup to all that was, you think of Southampton at home, 3-0. Ramsdale starts the night off within 30 seconds, giving the ball to the other team, which we'll get to in a bit when we talk about Arsenal-Brentford. You think of Partey having that shot last minute in that game. You think of Tomiyasu passing the ball back to Ramsdale and getting caught in the middle, and De Bruyne scoring. Yeah. That's the game that technically, if we beat them, there's a 6-point swing. We lost by 4 points. So that is the actual game. But yeah, it was the running. It was the last 20 games, 15 games. Saliba goes down. Tomiyasu goes down. Zinchenko goes down. And all of a sudden, we've got a back four of Holding, Kiwior, Gabriel, and Cedric at times. And it was just... And Ben White, obviously, at times, he was working through injuries as well. So I think this year he's very intent. I think when you bring in Timber, I think you show your intention, which is we're going to defend correctly.
Yeah.
And we have four great defenders and then 3 more waiting in the wings, but they all play anywhere across the line. So you can't be caught short. So if Saliba goes down injured, the backup to him is Kiwior, Tomiyasu, Timber, and there's another one I can't think of. But I think they're going to go and get another one.
Do you think, because people keep saying we need a focal point like these other teams do. When you've got goals coming from 6 to 8 different players,
I think we have the most goals from different positions.
Do you need a focal point when that's the case? Because we've got capable players in 6 different positions.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the history is, because if you think about it, if you look at the top assists and top goals right now, Arsenal are not in any of them.
No.
Because it's spread out.
Yeah.
But we're not scored less goals than everyone else, particularly or anything.
Yeah.
So it is showing you that it's really being spread out. But when you look at the history of the Premier League, I know the last couple of years, Haaland is right at the top of all the lists.
Yeah.
De Bruyne was always at the top of the list. Salah's always at the top of the list. Robertson and Trent are always top of the list where they win the league.
Yeah.
So maybe you do need a couple of players that do just have those. But Saka is going to eventually, the rate in which that guy is going.
Yeah.
When you look at that assist for Havertz, he was man-marked. Like he said after the game, he spoke about it, because we've talked about he's not been... Again, our free-flowing football wasn't as good as last year, I understand. But Saka and Martinelli don't seem as good as last year. But if you actually watch their metrics and all that kind of stuff, they're fine. They're just being doubled. So it's the same as we've talked about in the NFL. If you have a really star receiver, they're going to get 2 men on them, which opens up room for someone else.
Yeah.
So when there's 2 people on Saka the whole game, how is he supposed to dictate anything in the game? But even with the 2 men, 89 minutes, he puts in a perfect delivery for Kai Havertz. So
that's quality. If you can do that.
That is exactly what it is. And that's what people like Salah have been doing for years. Because, Salah, there's not a game that goes by that he isn't doubled on.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd like not to.
Yeah.
And Haaland, for whatever reason, people just don't want to defend. So
I don't think they can.
I don't think they can, but I think that people don't actually do it, because there's a few games where people just man-mark him.
Like Saliba.
Yeah, Saliba did it. Was it Craig Dawson?
Yep.
At Wolves,
and
he does nothing.
But
since he's joined the Premier League, it's happened 4 or 5 times where people have just gone, "Oh, I'm just going to man mark it." Everton do it, and he struggled against Everton last year at the Etihad. But other teams are we shouldn't man mark him. We just hold our line, and you're screwed from the get go.
Yeah,
just put your best defender on him and say, "Don't let him do anything," and he won't. He doesn't seem to be able to overcome that.
Take the man out of the game.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, people don't want to do that. And this weekend, particularly, there's a team in Tottenham that probably won't do that for Haaland.
Yeah.
Because Tottenham on a 3-game losing streak are going to go to the Etihad. I'm tempted to play a triple captain on Haaland.
Woo!
Because that Villa game versus Spurs, it was such a bad managerial game, in my opinion. And I know there's people out there that are saying that Unai Emery is the 3rd best manager in the league after Pep and Klopp.
Yeah.
And there was actual people that in the media that said if Emery was Arsenal's manager last year, we would have won the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no, we've had Emery. He had 5 games to seal us top 4 and he lost all 4.
Yeah.
All 5. He doesn't. And if you watch the way in which they do it, they're similar to Big Ange. They hold a high line.
Yeah.
They do horseshoe football, and it is just chaotic. It's just they just jump up and hope they're catching offside every time. It is constant. That's why at Newcastle, Villa got smashed.
Yep.
There's another match they got smashed there. I can't remember, but that's what they do, and they're similar to. They're a better ran version of Spurs, basically, where they just hold a high line. And we've watched it with Emery. Do you remember the Watford game where we conceded 50 shots on our goal?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah, stressful watch.
If you watch Villa, they concede 20, 30 shots a game. And right now everyone's saying it's like class and stuff. It's like they were saying that Arsenal when we were on a 24-game unbeaten run with Emery, but we were conceding 30 goals. And as Arsenal fans, we were going 30 attempts on goal. We were going, eventually all these shots are going to go in. And then they started to go in, and then he got sacked.
Well, there's different levels to management, isn't there? Like, we're not managers, so we can't really speak too much on it. But yeah, Emery is a very good manager with the right team.
Yeah, we said that when he was there. We he's a good coach, it's just not for us.
No, the same it wasn't for PSG. Same with Eddie Howe. Like, I think Eddie Howe is a good manager. Like, but to a degree.
Yeah.
Like that Newcastle team, once they get really rolling with the money and stuff, he's not the manager. Because that game last night with PSG, you can't, at that top level, you can't be just sitting behind the ball like that. And they could have scored so many goals. They just were lucky that they didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't good defending. It was just luck. It was just bad. It was bad finishing for PSG. And again, I do think that is kind of how Villa are playing. Yeah. And we'll find out because obviously we're playing them in like 2 weeks' time. And I'm not looking forward to going to Villa Park.
No.
And that's not like, because I'm not saying they're a bad team. I'm just saying eventually the way in which Emery coaches will come home to roost, because it did for us, it did for PSG, it did for everyone. And they're already showing the metrics that we were dealing with, which was an abundance of shots on the goal. Not like Emery's game plan in defensive is do not block shots, allow them to have the shot on goal, because then our goalie can get the ball and we can start again.
Yeah.
Which is, for example, how I used to play football as a winger. I would go, if I don't track this back, probability says that it's not going to go anywhere, but I'm now free up here.
Yeah.
But then the ball going in, and everyone be like, why were you defending us? Like, because I was hoping that I was going to get the ball again. It's basketball. And if you watch that first half, it was basketball.
Whereas Eddie Howe, what he did last night was the opposite. They were blocking everything, but it meant PSG had the ball pretty much the whole time. Yeah. And they were just coming back at them.
Yeah, and we were talking to Spurs. They chose to not play Eric Dyer.
Okay.
In centre-back, the only centre-back they had available.
Yeah.
And ended up playing, I think it was Emerson Royale and it might have been Davies as centre backs.
Ooh.
I believe. So 2 fullbacks as centre backs. I think that's what they did. And you could tell.
Yeah.
And I think Romero might be back this weekend for C.
Okay.
But again, he is showing that he is not changing anything.
Yeah.
Based on the opposition.
Yeah.
And it's showing. The 3 losses in a row. No one's ever gone the first 10 unbeaten and then lose 3 in a row. Could he lose 4 in a row? You would think so, yes, but history tells us that they're really good against City. But I think they're really good against City has been people like Conte, Pochettino, Jose.
Yeah,
it hasn't been Big Ange playing. If he plays honestly, and the thing is, you usually go if he plays this big high line, and then we're like, but he won't. I think he's already proved. Oh no, he will.
Well, he's out of ideas. Like when he started with the momentum and the hype and that starting 11 that he had, like it was all perfect. But the minute cracks start showing, like players drop off and he can't do as much managerially, it falls apart very quickly, like it did. A quick thing, I don't know if anyone saw the Rotherham Leeds game on Friday.
Yeah.
But this is a quick thing on VAR as well. There was an identical challenge on, I think it was Dan James, which should have been a penalty to the Romero one that got him a red card the other week.
Oh, yeah.
So he went through the ball up high, through Dan James, like hit middle shin.
Yeah.
Dan James was down for ages. The ref didn't give anything. No VAR.
Yeah, there's no VAR, I don't know.
So with the VAR thing, quickly, it's good and it's bad.
Yeah.
But I think with time, I think it will be a very good thing because it is necessary.
We've talked about it a lot. And obviously, like I said, and I'll say this every week, we will talk about Kai Havertz and we'll talk about VAR every single week, I swear.
Yeah.
But the VAR thing is I think it's progressively getting worse.
Yeah.
But I do think it will get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
I don't think getting rid of VAR is an option. It's like it shouldn't be.
It's here now.
The offside, like for example, Arsenal had an offside goal ruled out this week.
Yeah.
You watch one view and it looks clearly on. You watch another view and it looks off.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say is people say they choose the wrong view and things. Doesn't matter on the view. The ergonomics are being chosen from something that we don't see.
Yeah.
And we have to assume they're right. Same as Man United, Arsenal, the Garnacho goal.
Yeah.
The same as this one, the same as any of these. We have to just all accept it's all being done the kind of same way.
Yeah.
No matter how wrong it kind of feels.
Yeah.
It's a level playing field because they're doing it from the same thing.
It doesn't help that what we see, though, is what we assume they're seeing.
I just think bring the sensors in, because if instead of showing visuals of the actual game from random camera angles, if you're doing it from, animation.
Yeah.
One, it takes you away from it because therefore you're not watching. Oh, it's not my camera angle. If it's just animation from right above them, or right next to them, and it just shows them coming through the force field, the like invisible force field thing, people won't question it.
That's what's needed.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just showing cameras that we've just seen, and everyone's going, "It's on," and then someone sees the other angle and goes, "It's off." It's the same as the decisions for the red cards.
Yeah.
Some decisions you look at and you go, that's not a red. And then they show something, you go, oh God, that's a red.
Yeah.
Then they go over to the screen to check, and the first one they see is the really bad view, not the good view. And it's like, so you're going biased towards you want him off because you're showing the worst case scenario. Like if I want to sell Joe a car and one side's dented and one's not, I'm going to show him because I want him to buy the car. I'm going to show him the non-dented side. And then once he likes it, I'm going to go, but what do you think about this side? And you go, oh yeah, well, we can work with that. If you show him the dented side first, he's going to go, oh, yeah, this doesn't look like it's like a pig. I'm not going to be able to do it.
Pig. Yeah, so I like the transparency of VAR. I like the fact that we see it too. But I think at the same time, that does cause more problems.
It does, yeah.
Because we're not seeing it the same way they're seeing it all the time. So we're just seeing, like you said, the worst case scenario. Maybe it's better if it's done under a veil. Maybe it's better the referees just sort it out.
Yeah, they don't show anything. They just tell us the result.
And we just trust them,
but we've proven that we can't trust them because they're saying, you're right, mate.
You can't take it back now,
What are you thinking there, mate? Hey, Gavin? I don't know.
But if they weren't so transparent from the start, maybe we'd just be trusting them now. But I appreciate the transparency, but I think it does cause a lot of problems.
Goal line technology, we have no issue with.
Yeah.
If they get to the sensors with offside, we've sorted a lot. The handball rule with Newcastle, we need to figure out.
Yeah.
Because that's not handball. Like,
no.
Yeah, I know a few years ago, do you remember it was like anytime the ball even touched your hand, it was a penalty. And he did it for 6 months and he binned it because they were like, this is impossible. Because guess what? I used to do it when I used to play football. If there was nothing on and I was in the corner of the box where Saka was for the Kai Havertz, I would just flick a ball into the guy's hand and get a penalty.
Yeah.
You can't just do that because everyone can do that.
Yeah.
You have 10 penalties a game because people will just the same way the game's changing now.
Yeah.
To fit VAR, it will change to just fit penalties, and it will become a game of possession in the right areas to win penalties, and it will just be these set pieces that will dictate all the games. Like you got to think, Monday Night Football, there's 3 penalties in a 5-goal game. Yeah, it's too many. Like there's been more penalties this year than there was all of last year. There's been more red cards than all of last year. There's been more yellow cards. Like I said, it's getting worse before it will get better.
Yeah,
but there is the potential to get better. And I know like my argument's always been let's get the European refs in, and then last night they proved this still happens.
Well, I think Ali McCoy said it on commentary. In the Premier League, you don't get that. But for whatever reason in Europe, you do.
He says that, but then you think, what was the one that went against us, and then the one that didn't go for the Man United against Tottenham? Do you remember Man United versus Tottenham at the start of the season? Man United lost.
Yeah.
And Fernandes had a shot and it came off the body and onto the arm, and we all went, that's a penalty. They didn't give it because they were like, nah. And then a few weeks later, there was a penalty that we talked about on here.
Yeah.
And we suggested looking at both of them. And the exact same thing. That was given. So it's one of those, like, last night, they all the managers and all the pundits came out and said it was a disgrace.
Yeah.
I remember someone recently said it was a disgrace because 4 things went wrong in a goal, not just the one.
Yeah.
And they got a ban. So just, hey.
Why do you work one way and not the other?
Let's just keep that in mind, and let's see what happens next.
But we do look forward to the weekend. It's the PGMOL derby
between us and Wolves.
Us and Wolves, for some reason, get so many dubious VAR decisions.
And Wolves have had some clangers. And this weekend this Monday they had, I'd say maybe one at a stretch, 2 bad ones. But I mean, there is a fundamental issue going wrong with Wolves because they're giving away the exact same penalty every week, where they kind of someone blindsides them, they go to clear it, they go to kick the guy, then they pull their foot away, and then the guy goes down, and then they give a penalty. That only happens to Wolves for some reason. So they've obviously got a problem with, without looking around, clearing a ball in a box, which you shouldn't do. You should take the ball and run back to where it came from. That's like, schoolboy football training. We're always taught if it's in the box and you get past the ball, run back with the ball towards where it was. Don't just wing it with your leg and just hope no one was there. So I don't know why they're doing that, but hey, we're in a world where we pass it back to our goalies and all sorts, which I want to quickly talk about Ramsdale, because Simon Miller will be joining us on the show for Prediction League. So we're just talking before the Prediction League now. So we'll get some of his comments, because I'm sure he'll have comments on Ramsdale. And a few of these other decisions, but we're going to go through all of ours now. But Ramsdale finally back into the team, because Raya wasn't allowed to play. There was a slight rumor out there that Carl Hein was going to start.
Wow.
That would have been funny. And he made a couple clangers. Like he tried to hold the ball. And the thing is, from the get-go, he never used to look nervous.
His body language was different.
Yeah, because when he came into Arsenal, he was someone who had never really played the ball out from the back. His stats showed he went long more than most keepers in the Premier League the year before for Bournemouth. So it was a bit odd that we brought him in. But then he showed real good range with his passes. He was always a bit unnerved when he had the ball too long. And he would go longer more than Arteta. Like you can see with Raya, does exactly what Arteta wants. And he keeps the ball way more than Ramsdale does. And it causes a lot more problems for us. Because he keeps it even longer. Whereas Ramsdale would go, is there a pass on? Is there a pass on now? Going long. But 80% of the times, Ramsdale will play it out short. Which is what Arteta wanted. He hated the fact that every now and then he would go long, even if because he got too panicked. Whereas I think that's a nice mix. Whereas Raya showed Arteta wants 100%, don't do that ever.
Well, he wants Edison 2.0. And
just take a risk.
The way Edison is, the composure he has, you can't... That's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, and I think with Raya as well, I think he's shown in the past, like Pep and Klopp, and I've talked about him being like a number 10 in goal. He has it, but when you come into a new club and then you displace a fan favourite, then... time moves past, the crowd are on you a little bit, you make a couple of mistakes.
It's tough.
He's not going to be as optimal, is he? So I think over time he will get back to the Raya we saw at Brentford. Because you got to remember, he wasn't even Brentford's number one when he came.
No.
He'd kind of been displaced. So it's an interesting one. But Ramsdale, he held onto the ball a little bit longer. You could see before it happened, it was coming. Because you could just see he was trying really hard to just do what Raya does. So he could try and get back in the team. Does that make sense? And then he just overthought it and let go of it. And just like tapped it, and again, Declan Rice just saves us again. But
I've never seen a lack of confidence affect a player so much. Like from the stuff that's happened in the media to losing his place, what seems like permanently, to the Brentford fans staying on him. Which shout out to the Brentford fans. Like you got to do that. Like I think the commentators were saying at the time, those Brentford fans acted like a 12th man.
And we had a friend of ours and a listener to the show, Jack. He was at the match, and he said they was so harsh on Ramsdale. Like it was vile.
But if that was us and we're up against a team in the same position, that's what you do as fans. Like that's the point of the fans. They play. You got to play your part, and that I respect that they played their part.
I'd say they were doing Pickford chants at him as well. I heard, which is the ultimate. Disrespect. Because we'll get to the Garnacho goal. But it's easy to score a goal like that when the guy has 6-inch arms. That's all I'll say. No, I'm joking. That Garnacho goal is unreal.
That is ridiculous.
But Ramsey also went to throw the ball out and had second thought and tried to change it and then just kind of whipped it at the ground.
Again, confident.
And also after the first mistake, the next time he got the ball, he made a perfect pass under pressure through the middle along the ground to, I think it was Martinelli's feet.
And that's part of Ramsdale's personality. Like Dad said it at the time. I was on a WhatsApp conversation with him, and he said that Ramsdale will come back from this. He's the kind of player that feeds off of that stuff. And you could see during the game, he was getting more confident.
Yeah, and with Arteta afterwards, what was odd was he was just completely avoided the Ramsdale questions on all his interviews. In the press conference, he didn't as much. He kind of answered a little bit, saying that he grew into the game. And stuff. But he really avoided it, which makes you feel like he just hates him. And after the game, you saw the players run to him, which we got stick for because they were saying it seems like he's, I don't know, like he doesn't belong in the team. So everyone was like, oh, wow, you did really well. But I don't think it was. I think it was just a guy who's a big fan favorite, loud guy around the team. hasn't been able to play, which he wants to play.
He does,
and they were just happy that he got a clean sheet.
And like something came out this week where he said he wants to play for Arsenal.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Was after the whole game, I kind of went, and Arteta didn't go over to him after the game. He didn't really go to the crowd. It was a very odd one. He went over to the crowd, Ramsdale did, but Arteta didn't go grab him or anything. But again, he's probably thinking, I don't want to make a thing of it.
No,
because I don't want it to be a charity case that, look, I played him.
Yeah.
Whereas Havertz, he pushed over there because he won us the game, and Havertz would just disappear down the tunnel if he's not pushed over there.
Yeah.
But Ramsdale, after all that, I was thinking, this is not a good look. Like, this can't be good for us or good for Ramsdale. And then he Instagram saying, I love this club, blah, blah, blah. So really interesting, because if he's trying to force a move or anything, we've declined a few offers already, apparently. I don't know. I do really believe Arteta sees subs as, impactors.
Yeah.
And I do think he's trying to revolutionize football a little bit, which is fine, where it's a squad that wins the league. It's not a starting 11.
Yeah.
And that includes the goalie. And again, people will say, well, shouldn't he play every other game? It's like, no, I think what he's trying to say is when we needed him, he was there.
Yeah.
In the FA Cup, he'll be there. And maybe in the Champions League tonight, we might see him again. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
he does need a bit more time to play, though. He does need his confidence.
Proof positive is that game, because he just looks so shaky. And if we got away with one, I'd say there. Because if he had played him a couple more times, we wouldn't have got that Ramsdale. We would have won that.
Yeah.
Luckily, we did win it.
Yeah.
But that could easily have been a couple clangers, a loss. And we go, do you know why we lost that game? Management.
Yeah.
Because you didn't manage the player well.
Yeah.
And again, the only reason they're... By the way, we've got two really good keepers that are both very nervous.
Yeah.
And that can only be blamed on the manager. And I love Arteta. I'm pro Arteta. But I do think he's created a problem.
Yeah.
That...
was fine.
Which was fine. But I do think he's trying to step it up. And I do agree that we could have... He is a step up on Ramsdale.
I think long term he shows all the things that Arteta wants out of a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So I think it will take time. The same way the Vieira thing happened last season.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite right. This season knows what he's doing.
And also you take about everything I just said, but now who's the best defense in the league? Who's got the most clean sheets? Arsenal. We brought in Ramsdale for a game to kind of continue. What did he do? Get a clean sheet.
Yeah.
So, or has he managed this perfectly? Do you know what I mean? Like when you look at the stats, he's managed it perfectly. If you look at the eye test, you go, God, he's got two nervous keepers. But if they're that nervous, why have we got the best defensive record and most clean sheets?
I think if you look back at any season where a team goes on to win the league or does great things,
they get two keepers at each other.
But it's never perfect.
No, like, there's always a couple of things.
If we look back at like the Invincible season on a DVD, chances are game to game, there's a lot of weird stuff in there that at the time we've forgotten about now.
Well, I remember Ashley Cole made a few really weird, like kind of own goalie type passes back to the keeper.
Yeah.
That nearly cost us the unbeaten run.
Yeah.
And again, at the time, I'm sure everyone was like, bring in so-and-so, bring in, but again, you have to stick with certain players and you have to give them confidence, and people are unconfident at certain times and sometimes really confident.
Yeah.
But the Ramsdale one, I don't know. I'd like to see him a bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think he's so good for the squad and just how they are together.
I just want his confidence back up. Like,
he's just such a fan favorite. It just seems crazy. But the Champions League is tonight. We're against Lens at home.
Nice.
We notoriously lost this at the earlier part of the stage.
Yep.
Away, but this was their first time back in the Champions League for 21 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was a hell of an
we got a heck of we went up against a force that was beyond what we thought we were getting.
Yeah.
I do think we should be able to win this tonight.
Yep.
We win it tonight, I believe we finish top.
Okay, cool.
If we draw tonight, I think, because we're already qualified.
Yep.
I believe. But we need to get at least 2 more points, I think, over 2 games to guarantee top spot.
Yep.
Which is very important for us because we don't want to deal with Munich and all these teams. Because the teams to avoid right now are City and Munich.
Yep.
And City lost last night, right?
They pulled it back to 3-2 in the end.
They won 3-2.
Yeah, they pulled it back.
I didn't even check that result.
I think Haaland scored again.
Yeah, we need people like City to come top. PSG, Dortmund, AC Milan, Newcastle, that whole thing. I don't know. Whatever you're going to get is going to be awkward. Like Dortmund are probably harder to go against than PSG.
Dortmund right now are the one to be worried about.
Yeah, but if we drew Dortmund, I'd feel like that was a decent draw.
Yeah.
Whereas PSG would scare me. But when you watch them, I'd say Dortmund worry me a lot more than PSG. Yeah. But again, I don't know. But we'd try to avoid that anyway. But coming top just means you might avoid Real Madrid's, hopefully Barcelona, but I think they lost last night or they drew last night, sorry. And I need to check that actually, but we want to avoid these top teams. So coming top is very paramount because nearly every year in the past we come second. And we end up getting Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are the team I just desperately want to just avoid.
At this point, I don't even want Newcastle because I don't want a calamity again.
And I believe in that first round, like once we're through, we're through, but once we're into that next round, we can't face an English team, I don't think, until the quarters, I believe.
Cool.
So I think we're okay for now. But yeah, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, just avoid them lot.
Yeah.
Man City for as long as possible, and then I'll take whatever we're getting. But I also, the part of the Champions League, it sounds weird because our group is PSV, Lens, and another Sevilla. They're all great European sides, but when you want to be back in the Champions League, you want to hear the music, obviously. But the group stage is a bit odd unless you've got a particular. Usually, you have like what Man United have got. They've got like Copenhagen, Galatasaray, but then you get Munich.
Yeah.
But realistically, you're waiting for the knockouts so you can actually have that big night feel.
Those big 2-leg games.
Yeah, like if we went through now, we went against, like a Sevilla and lost over 2 legs. I'll be so disappointed because if we're going to go out, I want to go out to Munich or Madrid.
You don't get the full experience.
Yeah, and I want to go out in the quarters and that. Like, there's something, a visual, isn't there, that the Emirates, 8 o'clock on a Wednesday in like March, April.
Yeah.
But the first half's in sunlight.
Yeah.
And it's a second leg. It's 1-1 after 1. You're against a big team like Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, and they're at the Emirates, and you're getting to see the big players. That's what you want. You want to see the 2 legs, and the sun's still shining in the first half, and the flags are out, and everyone's excited because it's a big like European night.
Yeah,
that's what we're waiting for. And we haven't had it yet, even though we've been back in there. We haven't had like a team like that at the Emirates that we could go, oh my god, this is we're back. So it'd be nice, and we are. Trending in the right direction for getting in the Champions League next year. But
we're still one of the top favourites.
We could, we could also, and again, I don't think I've lived since we went to the final.
Yeah,
I think we were vaguely favourites because we had gone unbeaten like the year prior in the Champions League, in the Premier League. But I mean, I don't think I've ever really been favourites in the Champions League.
No,
like in top 3, like ever in my life.
We always overachieve.
Yeah, so we are quarterfinalists. We're England in tournaments, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird that we're in that top 4 area of like Munich, Madrid, City, and us.
We're in the conversation.
But I don't think we'll win it or anything. But I'd love to see a couple big nights or a big night or a big win against Madrid or someone like, because Newcastle have already had it in the group stages. Like they've had the PSG wins at home and then the draw away from home.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yep.
But Lens tonight isn't that. But I do think we probably win that 1 or 2. No, I'm hoping Havertz scores. I'd love Ramsdale to play a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I know Arteta is pretty strict and he'll see this as we have to win so we can guarantee top spot.
Yeah.
Then the next game he'll play Ramsdale because you could play the kids essentially in the next one. I think which we will.
Yeah.
Just to avoid the fixture build up. But I'd like to see Ramsdale get in now and get a couple Champions League games. I know he's not going to play in the later stages, but what if Ray pulls his hamstring like Alisson did this week?
Yeah, true.
And he has to come in, and all of a sudden we've got this shaky Ramsdale that's letting the ball come out of his hands.
And also, Ramsdale helped get us here, so he deserves it.
I 100% agree. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think I saw something like in the next 30 days we have 10 games.
Woo!
And that was starting from Brentford.
Yeah,
on Saturday. So we are busy. I think it's Lens, Wolves, and then I think we've got the last one Champions League next week. Then the Saturday after we've got like Villa away or something. And then I think then it becomes Premier League almost every 3 days, I think, before Christmas. Because right now we're all kind of talking about the way the Premier League looks, and we're kind of, we're top, okay? So we haven't said this yet. I didn't expect to be top. I said last week on the pod, it'd be good if they drew and Villa beat Tottenham and we came top, and then Villa and we were just separating ourselves with Tottenham, but we'd be top.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would really happen. I didn't think we'd beat Brentford, to be honest.
No, nearly.
Predictionally, we all went us to beat Brentford, but I really didn't expect to beat Brentford.
Especially watching it.
They're an awkward team. They really are. And Thomas Frank, by the way, is a very likable manager.
I like him a lot.
I think he's just honest. Like he's not one of these agenda people. Like they said like before the match, what do you think about Arteta's antics? And he's like, well, none of us are perfect. We're all passionate.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, he said, I really wanted to win that. I didn't want to, or at least wanted to draw it. He said, but they have just quality players like Saka, and he did something magical.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. That's all it was. It was a tight game. People were saying that, we can't win a league the way we played that. It's like for years people win Premier Leagues winning games like that.
Well, I think that's what turned Gary Neville towards us winning the league was that game.
Yeah, because they're the games that we always lose.
Yeah, you grind it out, you get a win somehow against the odds.
Yeah, and even last year, we won all these games last year, but what was our detriment last year was taking for granted the smaller teams at home.
Yeah.
And if you look this year, at home, we've just been...
Oh, we locked down.
Yeah, it's been really good, and we'll talk about that in the prediction league because the first match of the weekend is Arsenal versus Wolves.
Yeah.
But no, as far as Champions League, I'm excited to see it. I'm hoping Havertz. I'm hoping Ramsdale.
Yeah.
But we're going to move into the prediction league. Young Simon Miller is not with us quite yet, so if we get ahead of him, we'll come back and get his predictions. I'm just seeing. No, he's not messaged or anything. We'll see.
A busy boy.
He's a busy boy.
Almost too busy.
Hey, some would say that CM Punk is back and he is now rushed off his feet.
There is a lot to talk about in the wrestling world.
If you want to make a prediction, a prediction league, what is the song our friend at Arsenal is going to play at halftime? Because I can tell you there's only one choice. Yeah. And I can tell you that is what you'll be hearing.
And it's been remastered.
It has been remastered in perfect time for CM Punk's return. So if you're a wrestling fan, I'll tell you an interesting story. As I was listening to Arscast with Andrew and James.
Yep.
And James obviously is a big wrestling fan.
Yep.
And he was talking about on their Waffle podcast on their Patreon. He got his second tattoo ever, and it was a Bray Wyatt tribute.
Yes, I remember this. Yeah.
And he was saying that his wife was saying, "You don't have one for the kids, for the dog, for me, but you have one for this wrestler." But he's a big wrestling fan. And then ironically, yesterday, I completely avoided my phone because CM Punk returned and I wanted to see whatever happened. And I thought, I'm safe with football podcasts all day. I put Goldbridge's podcast on. I don't know who his co-host is. And Goldbridge said, "So how was your weekend?" He goes, "Wrestling was good, wasn't it?" And he was like, "What?" And he was like, "When do you want to talk about CM Punk's return?" And this was Monday, so this is post-Raw.
Oh, my goodness.
And Goldbridge was like, "I don't want to talk about it." He's like, "Okay." But for a second, I was like, how have we somehow walked into spoilers? But no, Simon's busy doing all that. But he will be here at some point, I'm sure.
So I think it's a quick shout out though. Like I think there is a weird crossover with football and wrestling. It seems to be with a lot of these podcasts, even this one. I think it is just that little bit of nostalgia. Because I think as you get old, we talked about it, as you get older, you start to rely, not in a bad way, on things like football, wrestling. Because it takes you back to being a kid again.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about it. I as a kid, football and wrestling was everything. And now at 40, football and wrestling is everything.
Yeah.
So I think there is a weird dynamic with football wrestling. There is a crossover because we're all looking for that childlike enthusiasm again. And I think you rely on those things in life.
I wanted to agree. And when we talk about football, we always talk about when we talk about the Ganacho goal, we talk about there's not worldies anymore because football's become quite robotic and stat based.
Yeah.
As opposed to just individual brilliance.
Yeah.
But that Ganacho goal was just a full throwback to just Matty. What is it? Who's the Portsmouth guy? Matty Taylor.
Oh yeah.
You just score like 6 worldies a year. You feel like no one in the Premier League could just strike a ball well enough to score a volley from like 40 yards anymore. And they don't.
No.
It's either a lob from halfway line or they're in the box smashing it. And I don't know, it's so missed. Individual brilliance. It's like a long run. That's why I think Elise is such a throwback.
Yeah.
If you saw his goal this past weekend,
he
just weaved in amongst like 4 or 5 players, cut in, just whipped it into that far post.
And that's
such a nice goal.
And that's why we enjoy these things, because you want those moments. Like even ex-footballers like Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer getting excited about a goal like that. Like that's why we watch this stuff. It's not to get stressed. It's to do the opposite.
Did you see the video for Gary Neville with his commentary? And it sounds like he's and then he just goes, "I've never been in a stadium," and then just doesn't talk for ages. So it's like he just said that. And then I think he said, like, "I've never been in a stadium to see a goal like that." Basically. Here's the big one, because in my personal life, Joe's talked about the Rooney overhead for years, saying he just shinned it and it wasn't very impressive.
Yeah.
Do you think this is impressive?
This is more impressive than Rooney.
Do you think he shinned it?
He did not shin it.
A little bit.
No, I think he hit it perfectly. Because even Mackay Richards said on The Rest is Football. Is that the name of it? Yeah. He said the Rooney one, there's a little bit of shin there.
Yeah.
Like this one, different.
I love how he's running away from goal, but
it's ridiculous.
Here we go. Simon is here.
Let's go.
This is like Eurovision. Eurovision when you say
It's also like the end of Survivor Series where the little thing
the
comes
copyright,
up and you're waiting for that music to hit.
Here it is, the Simon Miller music. Can you hear
it? You comparing me to CM Punk?
Yeah, we are.
Yes. Finally, I've made it after all this time.
There he is.
Just when we thought he wasn't going to be here, he was here.
I know.
And we're a touch more excited to see you than some of the wrestlers were. So
that's true.
No, ironically, we did actually talk about CM Punk because we were guessing what theme music was going to be played at the Emirates at the weekend. And I can imagine.
I know that guy. His name's Peter, I think. Yeah, he enjoys. He very much enjoys the reaction he gets for doing those things.
He's definitely
very, very amusing.
Oh yeah, there's no
it's definitely become a thing as well. I heard it at St James's Park the other day as well. I was like, man, everyone's now doing it. Yeah. It's strange.
Good music. It's like pump up music.
Great.
True.
We've talked a little bit of Champions League and the kind of bizarre decisions and all that kind of stuff. We talked a couple of the really good goals past weekend.
Yeah.
So we're literally about to start Prediction League. So you're here.
I can feel it. That's the only reason I turn up is to try and turn around my awful Prediction League.
And I can tell you last week you didn't turn it around, but you started to.
Okay.
If you're making a 3-point turn, you're horizontal in the road holding up traffic at this point. You got 4 out of 10. Okay. Joe got 5 out of 10. And I got 3 out of 10. So you're in middle of the pack there. You gained a point on me.
Nice.
Joe keeps stretching it though.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know. And Simon went Luton. Like last week, Simon, you got Luton right. You got Arsenal right. You got a draw for. Oh God, I can't even see that. I can't remember what it was. But you got when I was doing it, I was like, oh my God, Simon's going to win this. And then at the end, I was like, oh,
fell off a cliff.
I wish I could remember what I predicted when I put my bets on at the weekend. Gamble responsibly.
Yeah, gamble.
That is always funny. When I do my bets, it's completely different to what I do here.
Same.
Because I follow crazy odds when it comes to bets. Because I only put like £2 on, so I'm like, I don't want to do anything realistic. That's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the fun in that?
I put my accumulator in a group chat the other day, and it was like £1 got me £7 back or something.
Yeah,
and they were like, retirement money there. And I was like, well, I'm not going to.
Yeah, what's the point?
I'm not going to put a lot of money on.
Okay, before we move on, can I give a quick shout out to Simon Miller's beard as well?
Simon Miller's beard has got a lot
because that is strong. I like that.
It's become, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's got a life of its own. Like the amount of messages I now get say, Miller, your beard looks crap. Miller, your beard looks good. Miller, what's this beard? It's like, I never thought growing a beard would create so much chatter. I mean, it's mad. It's absolutely mad.
He's got some moneymaker mutton there. That's what he's got. Yeah,
moneymaker mutton.
It's got to the point now where I don't actually know how you like maintain or keep a beard, whatever the right word is. Yeah, so now it's like growing over my lip and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I have to go to a Turkish barber or something to sort it out. I don't know.
When you start drinking a coffee and it sits in your mustache, that's when you have to start thinking about cutting it.
Yeah, you paintbrush it, and then it flicks the coffee all over your nice white t-shirt.
Don't do it.
Exactly. So what's going to happen is I'm going to try and probably like groom it in the next couple of days. I'll completely screw it up, and the beard will be gone. So
I
massively enjoy it while it's still here.
I like that. Cool. So first match is a 3:00. There's no midday game. It is Arsenal versus Wolves.
Woo!
So I'm going straight in.
Okay.
Just to kind of get the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be 2-0 Arsenal.
Okay.
And the reason being is when you look at, we talked about earlier, before the podcast, we faced 28 shots on goal this season.
Yeah.
Which is lower than any team. We don't really concede even chances.
Yeah.
But when the chances do occur, it could be a goal or that. But, best clean sheets, best defensive record, least shots on goal. Wolves, their one thing I'd say they have an issue with is
shots on target.
Yeah, end product. So I think the mix, even though I think Wolves are very good and they're coming off a loss with Fulham.
Yeah.
Simon, they're calling this the PGMOL derby between Arsenal and Wolves. But I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal because of that end product from Wolves. I think we're quite good at home this year. Yeah. CM Punk's music a bit half-time. I think it'll be fine. So
yeah, I think this should be a good game. On paper, normally Wolves give us a lot of problems in the past. Yeah. This Wolves team could. Like I think on paper they're better than they have been in a long, long time. But like you say, they struggle to hit the target. They might create some chances. Don't know. I'm gonna have to go Arsenal with this one. Hoping that a few things happen in this game, and Arteta and O'Neill tag team the officials afterwards.
I want a decision to be so bad they both just walk off.
It'd be funny. I'd never see two managers complaining.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1.
Yeah.
Simon?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Arsenal. I think I'm gonna go 3-0 because Wolves can't score. And Arsenal have a much better defensive record than even I realised just by doing some reading. I do want to point out, just because the VAR stuff's coming up, and I talked to you guys about this earlier, I can't And I guess you have to put Arteta in this category as well. Their hypocritical nature. I see CM Punk again. There you go. Keep tying it in. It's got to stop. Like, again, I'm a biased Arsenal fan, so when Arteta did it, I didn't care. But then yesterday, when Eddie Howe came out with his big strop, I was like, dude, literally 4 days ago, you were saying we must respect the referees, right? And it really annoyed me. And then I was like, okay, well, you have to, you got to pace that across everyone. Someone needs to be the hero of the day. And let's say, I don't know, it'll probably be Pep, won't it? Because Pep always seems to do this stuff. Yeah. Like, if you get a penalty and it's not a penalty, but it benefits you, someone needs to come out and throw a similar kind of strop, going, well, this is just terrible. It's not part of the game. Because otherwise, now, it's not even about VAR. It's just classic, rah-rah, my team, which I love. But the problem is it now dominates stories and tweets and airwaves. And I was getting really bored of it now. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
I saw that Ronaldo got a penalty in the Saudi league, and he begged the ref to overturn it.
Do you know there's an asterisk about that though, right? Because I was like, oh well, that's really cool. So it was their version of the Champions League. And they were already through, and I was I know what you've done, Ronaldo. You saw a PR opportunity. That's what that was, you smart mother Hubbard. So yeah, I've reduced that. It's not as good as we first thought, but no, I think Wolves can't score. I actually think they'll be dejected as well from last week. I think they're going to have a hangover, and we're really good at home. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I think. And on paper, it scares me a little bit, but then when I think about it, it makes total sense that we should be able to win that. Yeah. The next game is Brentford v Luton, Simon. So I'll let you start that one just because you missed the Luton over here, and they're coming off a win. They're the ones extending themselves from the pack at the bottom there.
So hard. And then where's Brentford as well, Arsenal and Luton in a week. So I was actually talking to my dad about this the other day because obviously Luton have City and United. Do they have the next 2 games? Is that right? No.
It might not be.
They have Arsenal. Sorry, they have Arsenal. So they have us next week.
That's it. Yeah.
Because I'm going to try and go with my dad if I possibly.
Oh, nice.
And I said to him, even if you walked away with 1 point from 3, I think that's pretty good. If you've got Arsenal, actually, Luton's record against Arsenal is very good. Actually, if you look into historical, they're very good at beating us.
Yeah,
but. After watching Brentford last week, because again, we won that game playing at maybe even 50%, maybe 55. We weren't very good. And Luton, they did win, but my word, they had to give every single thing they had to beat Crystal Palace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to regret this. I'm going to go for a draw, only because that is what I predicted originally. I'm going to go 1-1. Okay. I don't actually. This is one of those head-heart things. I actually think Brentford's going to win, but because I had this thought a few days ago, I'm going to stick with it. And say it's going to be a draw. But I will also say I think that's a very poor result for Brentford because I think at home they should probably be doing away with the likes
I'd say so.
of Luton. But I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with him, throw him.
Yeah, kind of a draw for Luton off the back of what they just achieved is an amazing result.
4 points from 2 games would be wild.
That would be really good. And obviously for Brentford, like you say, Simon, that's not ideal for them. I'm going to go Brentford. Like, it hurts. But I think Brentford, they're due something. Like, they're due another win. And I think this might be... I think Luton might have burnt themselves out with that last one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So you're right.
Yeah, I don't like doing it. And I like to choose Luton because when I did it last time, they did quite well. And they nearly got a result against Liverpool. I'm going to have to go Brentford with this one, though.
What's the score?
I'm going to go 1-0. I think it'll be tough. I think Luton will fight.
Yeah, I don't think Luton let in many goals, do they?
No.
Well, I mean, they kind of do. But it's not as like I say. So Sheffield United let in 34, and Bournemouth are letting 28. Luton only let in 23. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Actually, when you get to that bot, I mean, Wolves are letting 23 goals. It's not actually that bad. I mean, Chelsea are letting 20. West Ham have let in 23. No, I stand by it. Luton haven't let in that many goals. I was correct.
They do fight.
They do, and they fight so bad that I think I'm going to go Brentford 4-0.
Woo!
I mean, it could happen, couldn't it? I mean,
there's really more probabilities I'm going for it. I just think, like you said, Brentford had a good showing against us. They were so low block defensive that I didn't expect. I thought it'd be more aggressive.
Yeah.
But they are good. Like Wissa and Bemo are just good players. So against Luton still haven't really been dispatched by anyone. Like you were saying, like they haven't conceded.
They're resilient.
Yeah, we were expecting like Burnley have had a couple 4-5ers, and then like Sheffield United have had a 9-0, I think was it. And Luton just haven't.
Of those three,
they're losing 2-0.
They're strong, I think.
But when they came in, we all thought, they're going to get smashed, but they haven't yet. So I think Brentford are the team to do it, apparently. But the next game, this is a big game. This is Burnley versus Sheffield United.
My goodness.
It's an awful game, but it's a big game.
It's just hit me. What? It's the two people that can't win or score.
Yeah. So usually, you like mathematically, that's a 0-0.
Yeah.
Anytime this has ever happened in history, this is 4-4 or 4-3 or something like that. I honestly don't know how to even go with that because I don't know who is better.
I'm going to go for Burnley.
Okay.
And this is what I'm going to bet. It's going to be 1-0.
Okay.
And I'm basing it on the fact that even though they got a penalty last week to get their goal, they conceded in I think it was the 86th and the 93rd minute or something. So what happened is that was against West Ham, who were okay and not having a great Premier League season. That says to me they probably ran out of steam.
Yeah.
Sheffield United have no steam, so Brentford Burnley don't have to run out of steam. They can just. So I think I'm tempted to say 0-0, but again, if I was ahead, I would say 0-0, but I'm not ahead. So I think Burnley will get a goal and they'll stick everyone behind it. Because don't forget, they now have the worst ever promoted home records.
Yeah.
They've lost 8 in a row at home, whatever it is. So I think they'll turn that around here. Although I do want to point out that Vincent Kompany is insane. Yeah. What's he talking about? It's not that hard. You're rubbish. It's like, what do you mean? Where did you want to be by this stage? I don't think you should say stuff like that. But again, what do I know? But I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley because again, I think they can hold on against Sheffield United unless McBurney comes on in the 93rd minute again. That's what he does. He comes on the 93rd minute and scores.
That's the thing is with Burnley. At the start of the season when I watched them, I thought, they're good. They just can't. They're similar to Wolves. They're good, but they can't score.
Yeah.
As time's gone on, you can't be that good and not score and still just never win. Yep. Like something else is fundamentally wrong. But Sheffield United, I thought were really bad. They lose 9-0, but some games I watch them, I think they're actually decent. They're not a bad side. So I really don't know. So everything in me is just thinking, just go home and go Burnley. But I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
Okay.
2-2,
2-2, yeah. Well, because I'm going to go by the maths that, when two teams just can't score, and we all go 0-0 and
that's true.
9-all or something. I'm going by that.
They have awful defenses, so yeah.
Yeah, so these are the games that they will score because they're so bad defensively. So I'm going to talk.
But whilst you guys were talking, I was going back and forth.
If you say devil's advocate, I'm going to smack you.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to go
like a card, like a power card he plays. It always works. It always works.
He seems to, yeah. He's miles ahead of us.
Okay, so I was going to go. I was going back and forth. Burnley had their moment last week. I think this might be Sheffield United's moment.
Okay. What's the score? 3-1.
No.
I just gave you a random score there.
I'm going to go 2-1.
Okay.
2-1 Burnley.
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United. All right, man.
So hey, we're all over the shop. Someone's going to win. Yeah. We'll say that. Yeah, that power card is. You need to stop going third because I feel like we talk ourselves into these situations. Then you go the devil's advocate, and then you just win.
It's why you guys are talking. It's just brewing up inside me until the devil appears.
Forest Everton, you go first.
Okay. So Everton have shown a few signs lately, but that Man United game, I think, might have really dejected them with all the points dropped and stuff. I think Forest, that counter-attack Forest have is ridiculous.
We talk about it every week, but then they lose.
Yeah, but they do get goals from that counter-attack. And I think
Alanga's a really good player.
I reckon if I was to call this game, I think Everton will start strong. Mm-hmm. They'll miss a few chances, but I think Forest will catch them out on a counter-attack. Okay. So I think I'm going to go Forest 1-0.
Okay. So, Simon, we haven't asked you about your Garnacho goal. What do you think of the Garnacho goal?
It was amazing, wasn't it? It was just
such a good goal.
What annoys me, I've always had a problem with something. I understand why we live in this world, but we now live in a world where was it better than this one? Was it better than that one? It's like, man, who gives a flub, man? It's so hard to do. And also, we all know that Trevor Sinclair's was the best one in the FA Cup.
Hey, you're not wrong.
That genuinely is the best one because A, he's outside the box, and B, the rotation on his kick. I don't know how he didn't break his neck. Like he lands on his head.
And C, he's Trevor Sinclair.
Yeah.
There is Trevor Sinclair. That's right. I bought him on Championship Manager every year because of that.
Hope you need to score that goal.
But I just think when someone does that, it's so frustrating when all of a sudden, it gets, the downtrodden. And people, it was a fluke. It was a fluke. Well, he jumped up in the air and did a somersault. It was a fluke. You're right. He slipped. He slipped and just smacked it. But yeah, it was amazing. I always think those goals are incredible. I think he's really good. I thought Manchester United were actually really good last week. Yeah. And again, I only saw the highlights. And again, I think Everton thought Everton were going to be rah-rah, but it's not. They're sad, aren't they? That was a shame to see, to be honest. Because I do think it's a little bit, we talked about it. But the thing is, Nottingham Forest are a really good team. They're another one that are actually, especially at home, they're really good.
Yeah.
They just haven't found their feet at the moment. And again, last week they were doing well, and then just Brighton just turned it on.
Yeah.
And didn't Brighton get someone sent off as well? Did Brighton get someone sent off? Last
Brighton
week?
got someone sent off for calling the ref a name.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And now we got the sin bin. The sin bin conversation has started.
I like the fact he said something, he got booked, and then he said something worse, so he got booked again.
I do like as well that it makes me laugh. How can we make the game longer? Oh, we'll do sin bins. Just give a free kick. Just give a free kick. We'll give you okay. You can do like that. Turn of play that easily. I think Nottingham Forest will win. Is Calvert-Lewin still fit?
Yeah, he played the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, he did play, yeah.
Everton had a lot of chances. I think XG, I know people don't like XG, but I think they were supposed to have won that game 3-2 or something against Man United, and they lost 3-0. So
I'm going to go 2-1 Nottingham Forest.
Oh, nice.
I think they're too good at home, and I think, Everton. I don't see why all of a sudden Everton are going to go, oh, now we're feeling buoyed by what happened.
Yeah.
And I think because Forest, again, because Forest had that, I think it was a poor result last week. I can't remember what the hell they did the week before.
No.
I think they did. I think they've lost 2 on the bounce.
So
I think they're going to win, though.
Yeah,
I think they're going to win. Yeah, they're going to win. They're going to win. 2-1.
The thing I'd say to Everton is they've been quite good away from home. I think they won. Did they beat Brighton 3-0 at Brighton?
Yeah.
And a couple others. I think they seem to be better away from home because I think the stress of that kind of negative crowd. I think Everton might win this 2-1. So I'm going to go devil's advocate.
Yes, boy.
That is actually the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday.
Is it?
There's an 8 o'clock kickoff. And of course, Newcastle are on television again.
Oh, my goodness.
So 8 o'clock is Newcastle versus Manchester United, the most informed team in the league.
Ridiculous.
And Newcastle have just come off of a 4-1 win of Chelsea that we all predicted a Chelsea win. Last week, we all went 2-0 Chelsea, 2-0 Chelsea, 3-1 Chelsea.
Because they had the depleted team. Because they had all the injuries, but they
7 first-team players, though,
Yeah,
so
really? They had some schoolboys playing who actually played really well. Even last night, the schoolboys played again, and they played well.
Okay. That's crazy. But Man United are the most informed team. The best goalie on fantasy football right now is Onana, who keeps returning 6 to 9 points per game.
Wow.
I still say it, but again, I've said it for 3 years. They play awful football and then they just win.
Yeah.
And I don't fully understand how, but that seems to be what they do.
That's their DNA.
But Newcastle, obviously, after last night and that perfect VAR decision, I would say they're going to be. It's tough to know, isn't it? Because are they going to be depleted because of what happened, or are they going to be?
Last time, didn't they? They got burnt out with the PSG before, and they lost the next game.
They lost to Bournemouth 3-0, didn't they? Last time they won the Champions League.
And considering how hard they had to work last night, they're going to be out on their feet.
But Man United have got a game tonight. Is it Galatasaray away or is it Bayern Munich?
I think it's Galatasaray.
Galatasaray away because apparently they've never won there or something like that. I can't remember. But...
So they're both going to be knackered. Man United got a slightly shorter rest. Newcastle are good at home. We've dealt with it.
Yeah.
But obviously we shouldn't have. But they were very good. And I'm going to go 1-0 Newcastle. I think it's going to be a slow game because of how tired they are.
Okay.
But again, I keep going against Man United and they always win.
I think it's going to be a weird punch out, a very tired punch out.
Yeah.
But I think Newcastle are going to tip this. I think Isaac's back and he's in form.
Okay.
I'm going to go 1-0 Newcastle.
Same as me.
So I'm going to bow to the footballing probability powers that be. Manchester United have not drawn one game all season.
Oh,
They're the only team to do so, I believe. So I think, given that they both do have these Champions League games, and because Newcastle, regardless who is in their first team at St James's Park, are just this amazing team, which makes no sense, I think it's going to be 1-1. I think it's going to be a crap game. I just think it's going to be one of those where neither really wants to lose, especially after Champions League disappointment. Yeah. And I think they'll walk into it with, again, Manchester United don't score many goals. Newcastle do, but I think there's going to be like a cloud hangover. And again, United are not going to not draw any games throughout the season. So I think this is going to be their first one. So yeah, I'm going 1-1.
I like it. We got 1-0, 1-0, 1-1, and all said it's going to be a rubbish game after the hangover of the Champions League, which cue the 5-4.
I know,
Premier League
absolutely,
classic.
Greatest game ever,
and then we're on to Sunday's football. There's 5 games Sunday. We've got 4 games at 2:00.
Okay.
One of them's on television, which is West Ham Palace.
Okay.
So I'm going to jump to West Ham Palace, even though it's not next in my line.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's on television. I don't think there's much to say here. I think Jared Bowen and Antonio are both out at West Ham still. Palace have got Elise back, but Eze's now gone out, so they can't ever play together, it seems.
Yeah.
Elise scored a great goal. But Palace, the one thing I'd say about them is they've always had a good defense.
Yeah.
That's disappearing slowly. So they're becoming a bit of this kind of, they score, but they also concede team. So it's very hard to kind of place. I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham. Palace are not in a good place at the minute. Okay. And I don't mind West Ham, even without Bowen and Antonio personally. But
they've still got a little bit of fire.
Got Ward-Prowse, Souček, and Kudos is a very good player. Paqueta. I think that'd be too much for Palace.
I'm going to go... I was going to side West Ham, but I'm going to go draw.
Okay.
I think this will be 1-1.
Lovely. There's not much to say on that one, is there? It's a tough one.
How long are Bowen out?
Don't know. Antonio's out for a bit longer. He's been out for a lot longer than Bowen. But Bowen got injured in England duty.
What did you go for, Scott?
I went 3-1 West Ham. I just think they got too much for Palace.
Yeah, I was gonna go just the opposite because I need points, but I just don't believe it. I think West Ham are gonna win. I think it's going to be 2-0 West Ham. I mean, Palace have all their flair players basically either injured or not 100%.
Yeah.
West Ham can score goals. They're pretty good at home. And then are they playing in Europe? Is there any Europa?
Yeah, they got Thursday.
Yes. I still go to West Ham. I go 2-0 West Ham.
That was so close to being a 3-way devil's advocate.
It's such a hard game. Like, it's just two nothing teams at the moment. They're not really doing much of anything.
No, that's what I mean. It's the least. I think that's the match of the whole weekend. That there's not much to say other than just two teams that are kind of middle of the road at the minute.
Yeah, I go 2-0. 2-0 West Ham.
Okay, cool. We're going to jump all the way to Bournemouth versus Villa. Woo! Bournemouth have been quietly racking up a couple good results here because they beat Newcastle. They beat Sheffield United. Was it last week?
Yeah,
I think it was. Sheffield United 3-1. I think they won.
Yeah.
They've put together a couple results, but I do think Villa are just unreal. I was saying before you were on, Simon, we've dealt with Emery, and people are saying he might be one of the best coaches in the league, if not up there with Klopp and Pep.
Yeah. Yep.
I like that, but I also, we dealt with his 24-game unbeaten run at Arsenal that everyone was saying, oh, you're unbeaten, but we were going, but we're terrible. And the reason for that was we were conceding 20 to 30 shots on goal. Yeah. Playing a nice horseshoe. And if you watch Villa, they concede 20 to 30 shots on goal and they horseshoe around and they have a very good forward in Watkins who's doing a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Which at the time we had Aubameyang doing a lot of good stuff. Eventually, those shots get converted into actual goals and it all goes wrong. I don't think this is the week for that, but I do think Villa are heading towards something where they're going to get very frustrated with the fact, similar to Ange already at Spurs, there's only so much high line and shots on goal you can deal with before you go, do you know what, can we just defend? And Emery won't do it, and nor will Big Ange. So, again, I don't know. I don't think this is the week. I think this is a draw. I think both teams are in form.
Yeah.
Villa aren't as good away from home as they are at home, I don't think, off the top of my head. I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah, I do appreciate what Bournemouth are actually doing this season. Like they haven't got a crazy amount going on, but they do turn up.
And if you remember 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were worried about them because since Gary O'Neill, they've been middle of the pack.
They've kind of kept a structure there somehow. I think this is going to be Villa. I think this will be a straight up Villa win. It'll be too much for Bournemouth. I think Ollie Watkins will get a hat trick. I think it'll be 3-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Villa are going to win. I think it's going to be my Luton bias coming in because I want Bournemouth to lose, obviously, because the more they do, the better it is for Luton. But I also think, what was the last Villa game when they weren't playing well and then they switched it all around and they got really good again? Who were they? Tottenham, right? Tottenham. Yeah. And what's his face came on? The Leicester guy. Obviously, doesn't play for Leicester now. They got him on a free. Tillemans that we wanted.
He did a look away pass for the.
He looked so good. I think he's got a bit of a bee in his bonnet because he was moaning, wasn't he, a few months ago? Like, I'm not playing enough. And now he's come on and gone, yeah, I think he probably could start and boss it. So I'm going to go 2-0 Villa. But I do agree with you. I do think they are very much of a Tottenham mould. I don't think they're going to continue this on for the whole season.
No.
But I think I think that's going to happen after Christmas, though. I think before Christmas they'll fly, and then after Christmas they'll. I still think they'll have a great season. I think they'll finish top 6, which is amazing. But yeah, I think they'll win 2-0.
Which is classic Emery to finish top 6.
Yeah, and I know I saw a pundit. We said it earlier. They said if Emery was the coach of Arsenal last year, we would have won the league. We've experienced us needing top 4 and needing to win 1 of 5 games at the end of the season, and we lost all of them. So I don't think he would have won us the league at all. Bournemouth, I was looking at they're only 3 points ahead of Luton, 2 places out of the relegation.
Yeah.
They've won 3 games, and those 3 games have come pretty much in the last 4 or 5 weeks. So
yeah. If you're looking at momentum, Bournemouth and Luton moving up there.
Luton have really stretched themselves, 4 points clear of them. If they could get even a point this weekend, that'd be really big.
Yeah,
that'd be really good. I'd say the next 3 games, you come out with even 1 point. That's massive in a relegation.
Oh yeah.
So I just put that back. Cool. The next one is it's an interesting one. Chelsea versus Brighton.
Oh, that's a good game.
I honestly, nothing comes to me. I was waiting to see if something like
they're both teams that are very capable of getting a good win there, but they're also both teams that are very capable of losing quite badly.
I just don't know what either of those teams are this year.
It depends.
That's all I can say.
It all depends. I still think Chelsea are gonna get stronger.
If I were to say to you, though, at the end of this weekend that Chelsea lost 4-0, you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If I said they won 4-0, you go, oh, okay.
That's pretty much where I'm at.
You wouldn't be surprised either way.
No. I think Sterling has found some form again, which he always does. He's the most consistent player in the league, I swear. I'm going to go for a draw with this one. I think it'll be a high-scoring draw. I think 3-3.
I like it. Sam, what do you think? I don't
know. I know this is so hard. Actually, no. I tell a lie. I do know. I'm going to go Brighton. Brighton are going to win 2-1, maybe even 3-1, but I'll go 2. I keep backing Chelsea, and I keep going, this is the week, and it's never the week. They're rubbish. They're absolute crap. They have no consistency whatsoever. They don't play for each other. Sterling is brilliant. I think Sterling is their best player by a mile. I actually like a lot of their players, but Madrid is... he's great. That's true. But no, do you know, eventually... You have to stop bashing your head into the wall.
Yeah.
And I keep going. For some reason, I know this makes me a terrible Arsenal fan, but I like Pochettino. I don't know why.
I know what you mean. He's not an unlikable manager at all.
No, and I think he's really good as well. Yeah. And I like the way that he talks. And I like the way that he's really good at calling players out in the sense that when he does it, it feels really justified. And I think if I was a player, I wouldn't be like, I can't believe you said that. I'd be like, damn it. He's bang on. He's called it there. And, but yeah, eventually, even though I'm going to be wrong now, of course, because that's how football works. You just have to be like, well, why would I do this again? So I'm going to go Brighton 2-1. Brighton aren't very good away from home, but I'm going to do it anyway.
And naturally, because you guys have done that, I'm going devil's advocate. By the way, I've gone devil's advocate for like 3 of these. If I win next week, there's something to this.
Yeah.
I'm going Chelsea 2-1. Fun fact though, Reece James in the last 3 years has never played 3 games in a row.
Wow.
Through injury, suspension, whatever, and he got suspended last week. So,
and then at the end of this year, he'll go to Real Madrid, and everyone will be like,
and he'll sit on the bench in Madrid, which would be much warmer and much nicer. The next game is Liverpool versus Fulham.
Okay.
Fulham got a rare win this past week. Couple odd decisions. I think this is that Liverpool game where they win 4-5.
Yeah.
I think this is a 4-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think I'm going to side with you on that one. I think I'm going to go 4-0 Liverpool as well. Okay. I think Salah had another quiet game, and when he has a quiet game, he normally turns it around in the next game. Yeah. This is 4-0.
There's not much to say on that one for me.
Yeah, I go Liverpool. Maybe I'll go 3-1 just as a random score because they're not very good defensively. But they're if Arsenal aren't going to challenge City, it's going to be Liverpool. I genuinely think Liverpool could win the league because. I don't think they're as good as they were a couple of years ago, but when you watch them in motion, you're like, you're really good again. Do you know what I mean? Like they still need. Well, I think a couple of their players probably need bedding in, and a lot of their front line needs to remember where the goal is. But again, they're really good players, though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but they're really good players, though. They just are. It's that awful thing where you watch Liverpool and you're like, oh, fuck, you're good again. You're just so good because Klopp's a brilliant manager. That's what it is. And Marco Silva, I think there's some hangover from all that Saudi stuff in the summer. I don't think they've recovered. They've certainly not recovered from losing Mitrovic. So I think Liverpool and I think if they get a goal, it's going to be like 88th minute. Fulham, that is. Do you know what I mean?
Consolation goal.
Yeah. It's not. It'd be by that point, Klopp will have taken half his team off and stuck a bunch of youngsters on, and maybe they score. But it's not. It's going to be. You could watch it for 25 minutes and then stop because it's over.
Yeah,
it's done.
One-way traffic.
Yeah.
The last game of the weekend is the 4:30 on a Sunday, which is Man City versus Spurs. And I have two thoughts, but one strong opinion. Two thoughts are that Spurs in the history of this clash seem to have the better City. But that is always with managers, like I said earlier, Jose, Conte, the other manager, Pochettino. This is a new manager. This is a new Spurs. And I agree with that when they were saying that at the start of the season, this is a new Spurs, new history. I think it is. And I think it's a history of worse pain. Because he has proved that he will not change the way he plays at all. If he plays a high line, and this past weekend they played Emerson Royal and Davies as their centre-backs. If they play that high line, which they did against Villa, and it was a basketball game, they did against everyone. 9 men, they did it. This is what Haaland was brought in to do. Was in Germany, he played for Dortmund, who played against high lines all the time. And his main thing was that. Just pushing past them, speed, power, throw and goal, and he just keeps scoring. At City, he never gets that. Because City are always against the low block, and it's just, he has to figure out ways of getting a goal. I think this has the perfect recipe for a triple captain on Haaland, and I'm going to go City 6-0.
Woo! Okay.
There's no bias in that whatsoever.
City
I felt good when I said it, and that was the worst part.
I think City will definitely win this because, the way Ange is doing things is a bit ropey.
What have they got to trouble City?
Yeah, but I feel like there is going to be a slight air in the building that this game always has. I think Spurs will put up a fight.
But if Spurs went cagey and then Kulevski and Son counterattacks, as you saw with Leipzig and Young Boys this year, City hate being counterattacked on. That's what the worst case scenario. But Spurs are going to be on the halfway line, so they can't counterattack. And usually you go, but he'll change it for City. He said he will not change it. So if he does it, it's going to be spectacular to watch.
You know what he could do? He could be a hypocrite like CM Punk.
Just like CM Punk.
That's the word of the week.
Who's worse, CM Punk or Eddie Howe? I say who's worse. I like both of them.
They're fine. They're fine. City will win, but I think Spurs will put up a fight. I think 3-2 City. I think it'd be a fun game. I think it'd be way more open.
Yeah. You think Højbjerg's going to get him a goal or something?
No, but I think there is just something to Spurs in this game. They do something, and I think it'll be 3-2 City, though.
Okay.
I mean, look, I think Tottenham's just on a bad roll, aren't they? Lost the last 3. Bentancur's out after being back for 7 minutes, whatever it was. I think they're going to get whooped. I think the problem is that I think
someone go higher than 6.
The problem with Ange now is, and I get this, we've all put ourselves in this position. Even if he's now going, I don't want to play a high line, well, you better. Otherwise, if you then lose without playing the high line, the whole media reaction would be, why don't you play a high line? You said you're going to play a high line.
You compromised your ethos.
That's right. I think he's going to talk himself into it. I think the thing with City is, though, sometimes when they know they're in control, they don't go goal crazy. They'll just score 3 and then they'll go, we're done.
Relax.
I think it's going to be 3-0 City. But I think it absolutely could. If they, I don't know. I don't actually think they're going to play a high line Tottenham. I think he's going to just, but I still think City are too good. Tottenham don't have any players. Like, Tottenham, the best way I heard it described this week is with Van de Ven and Maddison. They're a 9 out of 10 team, but without them, they're a 5 out of 10 team because it's all the same players from last year. I think that's true, not in a bad way. It's just it's a product and all that nonsense. Whereas Man City have gone back to being robots. Did you see him last night? Did you talk about it? My gosh, that was ridiculous.
I didn't. I thought it was 2-0. I thought they lost 2-0, and Joe was like, nope.
Of course they didn't. But that second half was just. It wasn't even like. Wasn't like wow. It was just like, yeah, we'll do you. So they just came over.
I've always said it with City. They're horrible to watch because there's nothing happens, but you go. They've won, and you just when you watch it, almost like lulled in, like they just robotically keep just scoring the same goal, and you're like,
honestly, but I think 3-0, and I think Tottenham are not in a bit of bother. That's an extreme thing, but they need these players back ASAP to get back to the way he wants to play football.
Like last year we talked about Arsenal, we kind of say 13 to 14 players in the squad we are like 100% happy with, but that needs to be like 18, 19 like City to kind of compete. I genuinely believe Spurs have 10. And that's not even like, I don't think they have a full 11 that I think every fan would be like, that's 100% the best team. And to lose 4 or 5 of that 10, you don't have much of a chance. Because this year we've lost 4 or 5, 6 at times, but our squad's gone from 13 to 17, 18 kind of number where you're kind of happier. I don't know. I'd love to see a robotic win, but I don't know. As Arsenal fans, do we want Spurs to win?
Yeah,
because any points City can drop are good points. I think at the end of
I
the
think
season.
I think I'd take a draw. I think a draw would be better, just because I don't want Tottenham going on another run again. I mean, they were doing quite well. It may buoy them up, right, and be like, oh no. So, but
we're top of the league.
Yeah, but the same way we love the draw between City and Liverpool this weekend. Yeah, draw's very helpful.
It's weird. I was watching that game, and I mean, this is my gut reaction, which then changes when I get back to normality. I wanted City to win just because I can't stand Liverpool. Isn't that weird? I just can't stand Liverpool. I was like, come on. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know what it was. It's just like
detriment to yourself, but you're like,
I had to remind myself. I don't know what it is about Liverpool. They wind me up the most. I don't get it.
I think with Spurs, I'm the same. It's just I don't think I could watch that game going, come on, Spurs.
Yeah.
But if they do win, at least it's like a win-win.
It helps.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'll take it. But luckily they've lost 3 in a row, so it doesn't feel like if they were still unbeaten and they beat Spurs City, then I'll be petrified.
Yeah.
Where have they fallen to now? Like, what is the actual? Hang on, I got the table. I lost my
5th, 6th, maybe.
Yeah, they're in 5th. I mean, they're essentially. I mean, they're 2 points ahead of Man United. Can you believe that Man United is 6 points off the top of the league? How is this possible?
I know they're just having such a run.
It's so strange.
It's going to be so interesting by Christmas because there's almost a game every 3 days after next week in the Premier League up until Christmas.
Yeah.
So we're going to go from 13 games played to almost 19.
Yeah.
Like halfway at Christmas. And all of a sudden we're going to have a real understanding, I think, of where the league is. Like that's why, like someone said, like you're top of it, you're top of the league. And I was like, we were top of the league for 90% of last season. And not once did I think we were going to win the league.
Oh, yeah. I would much rather this back and forth stuff. Like I really, really would, because you don't get into a sense of false security or anything like that.
I want to
like,
chase someone. I don't want to be ahead.
Yeah, no, totally. Exactly, like the baby face, right? There we go.
More exactly.
Chase the title.
Chase them down. Get them. The thing is, City don't feel pressure, so there's always a way. Wherever they are, they're a problem.
Yeah.
Well, that is the other issue. They can win nothing this year, and while it would be a shock, not really. They wanted to just go on the treble 12 months ago. And you go, good point.
They should just let us win. That's what they should do. But no, that's been another Gunners Are Us. Simon, where can they follow you?
Simon316, What Culture Wrestling. Check out my own YouTube channel at Simon Miller. And that's pretty much it. That's where all the deal is.
And we are by TBA on all forms of social media. The brothers are on YouTube, and I think we're on Twitch tomorrow at XOTBA. So we're playing a little Fortnite.
Yeah.
But have you got an outro? Or
I do.
Do you make them up?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you get going. Obviously, give us a 5-star review.
So I've got a quick question for you guys.
Okay.
Who wins in a fight between a pack of wolves and a Gunnosaurus? But before you answer that, tonight the Gunnosaurus is going to pick up his binoculars, look through the lens of his binoculars at the pack of wolves on the horizon, and he's going to ask you a different question. He's going to ask you who wins in a fight between a pack of wolves or a Gunnosaurus with a big effing cannon. Come on, Arsenal!